वेलकम बैक नाजरीन, थैंक यू सो मच। आप लोग देख रहे हैं इस्लामिक फाइनेंस एंड प्रॉपर्टीज़। आज हम लोग तहसीन असलम के दफ्तर आए हैं जो कि विल्स के अंदर स्पेशलाइज करती हैं। सो प्लंजिंग इनटू starting up your own business, obviously your background is where, and I'm talking about personal, is ke you're working as a social worker to somebody who's now working in Wales to their own company. It must have taken a lot of thought, a lot of planning for that as well. Or was it just spur of the moment कि मैंने करना है?
No, it wasn't spur of the moment. When I came into, when I started in the will writing industry, I knew that I had a passion for that. I loved it. Because in social work life, I was visiting clients in their homes, but I was taking their children away through court orders because they were neglecting their children, they were being abusive to their children. So they were not very happy to see me. यहाँ पे जब मैं clients को मिलने जाती थी, वो जाती हूँ, उन्होंने चाय तैयार की होती है, cakes खाने and so on. तो they're happy to see me.
Yeah, of course. And obviously the kids are probably ecstatic to see you because this lady is now going to save us taxation.
Save us, thousands and hundreds of thousands of pounds. Yeah. So, ये जो था, firstly people were happy to see me. But obviously आपका जो question था कि when I started, how was it? It was very, very difficult, Ali. I had no money. Being a social worker, I was on a fixed salary. I had two children. At that time, they were, I think, 7, 8, something, 10, like that. Or jab maine choda tha, they were teenagers in their early teens. So, had a house, had a mortgage. But alhamdulillah, I started from my bedroom. I bought a computer, started from my bedroom, and bought a small database. And I started calling people from the database, and then also spoke to some friends locally. And at that time I was living in Stanmore. वहाँ पे local mosque जो थी, एक मेरी friend, उसने पता नहीं कोई घर पे कुरान खानी रखी हुई थी. And I went, she invited me, and the women were asking me, what do you do? And I told them. That was a starting point really in the Asian community, क्योंकि वो औरतें सब कहती हैं कि हम तो अपने हस्बैंड को कहते रहते हैं कि विल लिखो, लिखना हमने, वो नोटिस ही नहीं लेते. Can you please come and do a presentation? We have a women's group. Come and do a presentation in our women's group. So they all arranged a presentation. There were about 50 women there. And they were so happy. That was the start of my business, Ali. MashaAllah, all of them became my clients.
Literally, you started off with visiting mosques and that sort of...
Community groups did presentation. Then after I did that, I was invited by other community organizations.
And obviously referrals and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Because if you're doing a phenomenal job, then you're, obviously everybody wants a slice of... Tehseen's knowledge, I suppose.
Well,
and, protection, basically.
All the community centers were talking to each other, and they all started inviting me to come and do a presentation because our community was just not aware of any of the issues. कि inheritance tax भी कोई चीज़ होती है, कि capital gains tax भी होता है. So at that time then, I made friends with so many beautiful, beautiful people who are still my friends. तो मुझे television पे PJ Mir was my friend, जो ARY के उस वक्त थे top anchor. उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि तहसीन, ये issue जो है will writing का, कभी आज तक किसी ने हमारी community में discuss नहीं किया है TV पे. I want to be the first one.
This was actually quite a few years ago.
2004.
Good God, yes, of course,
yeah, 2004.
Absolutely. So, it was actually very, हमारी Asian community के अंदर, it was not a very popular thing to do.
PJ was so excited. कहते हैं कि I want to be the first channel to bring this issue to our Asian community. तो मैंने उन्होंने Sunday को ब्रेकफास्ट शो जो होता था रेहान बाबर के साथ, and I still remember that. तो इतना अच्छा वो शो रहा था, and it was a live show, so people were calling in. And then after the show finished, people were still calling the channel कि उस lady को वापस लेकर आओ, वो तो इतनी useful information दे रही थी. And then from there, then Venus TV पे वो ताहिर अली साहब जो थे, उन्होंने भी फिर इनवाइट किया कि आ जा, कि आप हमारे चैनल पे भी आकर शो करें.
वेक्टोन पे भी आप करती हैं. वेक्टोन was a very long time ago. I think DM Digital में भी आप थी.
DM Digital, मैं मैनचेस्टर जाती थी हफ्ते में एक बार. जी.
I think you were all over giving so much information to our community.
Ali, demand itna tha.
And people wanted that information.
Yes. Because everybody, they were live shows, people were calling in, and it was so obvious that they were desperate for this information because there was nobody to explain to them in their own language.
And which was again, like I said, कि मैंने जिस तरह आपसे शुरुआत में भी कहा था कि आपकी उर्दू और पंजाबी जो है वो इतनी साफ है, वो it's as if you speak like a native.
Yes.
And आज मुझे पता चला कि you're actually not a native.
I can't read and write Urdu.
अच्छा, right, okay.
जी, मैं बोल सकती हूँ.
यहाँ से आप पकड़ी जाती हैं.
यहाँ से, I don't mind admitting it. I'm actually learning it now.
अच्छा, right, okay.
मैं खुद, I'm self-teaching myself Urdu, to read and write Urdu. तो मगर मैं कभी मौका नहीं मिला, मुझे टाइम ही नहीं मिला कि मैं उर्दू सीखूं.
Well, obviously you were brought up here. Your schooling was from here. Your university, your college, everything. If anything, you went to Copenhagen rather than Pakistan, even after marriage. So, it's and then you learned Danish. I mean, how wonderful is that? Yeah. Right, okay, so now we've got a sort of a little picture of how Abacus came into your life and how, sort of, shuru ke andar, when you're starting off a business on literally, no funding at all, actually, jo aapne kaha tha. You started off with absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
What was that like? I mean, the motivation that you needed must be really phenomenal. क्योंकि मैं अपने यहाँ पर जितनी भी हमारी community है, मैं उनको यही कहता हूँ कि जी आप अगर अपना business कर सकते हैं तो definitely करें. But and that's one of the reasons why we're calling, sort of professionals like yourselves, कि ताकि हमारी community भी motivate हो और वो कोई ना कोई business जरूर.
What motivates? Especially motivating women.
Yeah.
क्योंकि self confidence नहीं होता हमारे अंदर ज़्यादातर. What motivated me was, Ali, was that I had all these qualifications under my belt. I wanted to do something that I loved and I was passionate about. तो अल्लाह ने मुझे इस रास्ते पे डाल दिया, will writing and estate planning में. मुझे पता था कि इंशाल्लाह क्योंकि जब मैं दूसरी कंपनीज़ के लिए काम कर रही थी, I was the best in the company and I was headhunted by other companies. तो तकरीबन 1.5-2 साल के लिए मैंने दूसरी कंपनीज़ के लिए काम किया. तो I thought I'm making so much money for them. I can make it for myself.
Okay, so that's the motivation.
Well, that's one of the motivation.
But there is always that aspect of things. Okay, they have a setup.
Yes.
They have administrators. They have, they have an office. They have, they have a system.
Yes.
So aapne,
which they've invested a lot of money into
and
building.
Time and money.
Yes.
Starting off something new, you start thinking कि यार इतना time लग जाएगा. Will it work? Will it not work?
Yeah.
I don't have extra people motivating me to do it as well. When you start off on your own, where did that motivation come from?
Shall I tell you one thing, Ali? कि especially जब कोई औरत, a single woman who doesn't have a husband, right? उसको कोई support नहीं करता है. Okay, my parents were there, family were there, but financial support, alhamdulillah, I never asked for any from anybody. I didn't need it. But किसी किस्म का भी लोगों में थोड़ा envy आ जाता है. And as you become more successful, that gets more worse as well. But my motivation was that I love this work and I know I can make it work.
And you certainly did.
And
you
my
certainly
social
did.
skills with the clients, जब clients मेरे साथ बैठते थे, they were you know so happy with the knowledge I was giving, and they you know used to sign up and become my clients.
Right, okay, well this has actually been very motivational. मैं तो अभी आपसे बात करके मेरा खुद दिल चाह रहा है मैं कोई ना कोई बिजनेस शुरू कर दूँ. अच्छा तहसीन, थैंक यू सो मच. इतनी अच्छी गुफ्तगू हो रही है, इतनी अच्छी बातें हो रही हैं, लेकिन हम लोग एक छोटी सी ब्रेक के ऊपर चलते हैं. नाजरीन, आपसे ब्रेक के बाद इंशाल्लाह ताला यहाँ मुलाकात होगी. शुक्रिया.